Hey guys, it's Arit here with Estetino Artists, and I can't believe the year is almost over. We have the end of 2015 and the new year, the dawn of a new year, 2016, coming upon us. And in light of this new year approaching, a lot of us are starting to set goals and really thinking more about what we want, how we want 2016 to be different from this year, right? And setting goals are extremely important. That's something that we're going to be talking about in a video next week. I'll film a video on how to achieve goals in 2016. But in this Mind Thrive video this Thursday, I wanted to give you just something extremely simple, something that you're able to do from wherever you are, whenever you are, and in terms of starting to think about what you want to achieve in 2016. And you don't have to go on the internet to do this. You don't have to print anything. You don't have to drive somewhere to go get this. This is a tool that you have at your disposal 24/7, and it's an extremely, extremely powerful tool. And that is your imagination. And a lot of the times we use our imagination negatively. We worry all the time, right? Just the sense of you worrying is you using your imagination negatively. You're thinking about what you don't want to happen, and it's causing anxiety and depression and sadness and frustration and overwhelm. But what if you were to use your imagination positively? What would happen if you imagined what could happen, what can be, what you want to achieve? What would your ideal 2016 look like? And as trivial as that sounds, obviously there's a lot more involved. You can't just imagine 2016 and it will happen for you. There is a lot more involved. But what if you could start from that place of just thinking about what you want and creating a movie in your mind of what 2016 would look like? Let me just give you an example here, okay? A couple years ago, I was invited to go on a cross-Canada tour for my music career, and this was an opportunity that I was just oozing with excitement and gratitude. And this was the opportunity to go on tour with other artists and bands, to stop at 12 different cities in 14 days, and to have accommodation at every single city that we stayed at, a tour bus that would take us everywhere we needed to go. And I would be performing on stage at shows with other artists that had decades of experience under their belt. So this was something that was massive for my music career. And I was so excited. I was starting to think about what songs I wanted to perform and how I wanted my show to look like. And also having a practice schedule, because every time I do a performance, I always make sure I have enough time to rehearse what my show will look like. And all of that came to a halt the week of when I was supposed to leave for the first show date on tour. I became extremely sick, and I mean, like, I wasn't even able to get out of bed. My muscles ached. I couldn't. I was coughing, so I couldn't really sing because my lungs felt really weak, and I was just like, congestion, and just like, it was really bad. Like, I had to stay in bed, which that was pretty much the week leading up to before I went on tour, was me in bed, because I couldn't really do anything else. And it stressed me out even more, and I became really worried because I started to think, well, I can't practice, like, my shows are gonna suck. And I was just like so sad about it. I remember flopping on my bed and just starting to cry like crazy. It was really, really sad and stressful. And I remember Jewel came over, and she reminded me of something that we heard about a week before. It was a powerful success story. And this is like at the time when we were listening to a lot of podcasts. She reminded me of a success story of someone who actually visualized their success into being. And, I was in no state to be like, yeah, okay, that's gonna work. Let's start doing it. I was so deep down in the hole of negativity about my show and about what was happening to me that it was really hard for me to accept what she was saying. But nonetheless, she said something to me like, if you can't physically rehearse and practice, what have you got to lose by just by mentally rehearsing and practicing in your mind, just imagining your actions and the way the performance will be on stage and this sort of thing. And I really had no other choice. So this is what I started to do. If I wasn't able to physically rehearse, I was just going to imagine what my show would look like and rehearse in my mind. So I started to think about what I was wearing, what my costume was going to be like, and me singing, like the motions that I would be doing on stage and how I would sing the song. These are all things that I would normally think about while physically practicing. But something amazing started to happen. While I was thinking of these things, that imagined story just started to expand and became bigger and bigger. I was in my mind, I was like, okay, if I'm imagining this performance, I want it to be the best performance I've ever done. I want to amaze my audience. I want to be in full costume of like a Cleopatra costume. This was one of the main hits that I was releasing at the time, my song called Cleopatra. So I was imagining, I want to step into the power of Cleopatra when I sing this song on stage. I want 4 male dancers to be on stage with me and to lift me up during a certain part of the song. I want a DJ on stage with me playing this track. I don't want it to be played just from any sound system. I want my name to be behind me on screen. And this just turned into something so much bigger. And that actually happened for me. I got better and I went on tour, and for my hometown in Vancouver, I ended up putting this massive show, getting dancers in time, getting the DJ in time, getting my costume, and this ended up being one of the best shows I've ever done. And I would receive that feedback from my audience that, you really, you were so well prepared. You really stepped into your power, like you were a different person on stage. And I can honestly say I attribute a lot of that to visually rehearsing it, imagining the way that I wanted it to be in my mind. So that's just one example. I have many other examples, but I don't want to ramble on too long. I just wanted to invite you to think about what it is that you want to achieve in 2016. Just think about that thing in the simplest term, whether it's launching a business or attracting a special someone or a health goal of yours. And the more you start to think about it, just see it more in your mind. Just start to see the details associated with it and almost play it like an actual movie in your mind. What happens next? Where are you going? What does it look like? How does it feel? And once you start to expand upon this imagined story, you start to actually be in it. And whether you believe in it or not, this is the law of attraction working at its best. It's starting, you'll see the universe will start to attract things to you to make this imagined movie a reality. Whether you believe in it or not, it will happen. You just have to keep doing it consistently and imagine that story over and over and over again with the feeling that it can actually happen. So that's the tip that I wanted to leave you with this week. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions by leaving it down in the description below. And I really look forward to hearing from you. I will see you guys next week. Bye.